In this video, I'm going to show you how to do some more problems from Chapter 6, Section 2. If you came to the class meeting in Week 2, then we did several of these problems already. So make sure you watch that recording again if you have questions on any of those. For this recording, I'm going to do some of the problems that we didn't do. So we'll look at number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 22, and 33. So please take notes as we go so that you can be clear on how to do these problems. So number 2 says x plus y equals 12, x minus y equals 2. It might help you to put a 1 in front of any variable that doesn't have a number in front of it. That might help you see that what we have is a 1x plus 1y equals 12 and 1x minus 1y equals 12. When you do elimination, you're going to add the equations together, and you don't want to add them until you have one of the variables with a plus a number y and the other one with minus the same number y. Or you could do 1x and minus 1x, or 6x and minus 6x. But right here we have, this is set up for elimination. You want to have it so that when you add them, one of your variables is going to cancel. So if I add the two equations together, I'd have 1x plus 1x is 2x. 1y minus 1y is 0. You can write 0 if you want, or you can just leave it blank there. 12 plus 2 is 14. So we really just have 2x equals 14. Solve that for x by dividing both sides by 2, and you already find out that x equals 7. So we're half done. You still have to find y, but if x plus y equals 12, take the x, plug it in for x. X is 7, so 7 plus y equals 12. Subtract 7 from both sides, and y equals 5. You can write that as an ordered pair, 7, 5, if you want, or you can just write x equals 7, y equals 5. All right, next one is number 4. Number 4 is not yet set up for elimination because I don't have like 10y and negative 10y. I have 1x minus 10y equals 60, and I have 1x plus 14y equals 12. However, it would be easy to set this up for elimination because I could take and multiply either the top equation or the bottom equation by a negative 1. If I did that, I'd have negative 1 times 1x, that's negative 1x. I'd have negative 1 times negative 10y, which would be plus 10y. And I'd have negative 1 times 60, which equals negative 60. Now I'm adding these two equations together. Now they're set up because one's 1x and one's minus 1x. That's good because when I add these equations together, I get 1x plus negative 1x, which is 0, plus 14y plus 10y is 24y, equals negative 60 plus 12. If let's see, that would be negative 48. So 0, we don't even need to write that. I have 24 times y equals negative 48. Divide both sides by 24, and we get that y is equal to negative 2. Once you know what y is, you plug that into one of your equations and find out what x is. I'm going to plug it into the top one. X minus 10y equals 60. So that would be x minus 10 times negative 2 equals 60. So x minus 10 times negative 2 would be a plus 20. Equals 60. Subtract 20 from both sides. X equals 40. That's your solution. You can write it as an ordered pair if you want. 40, negative 2. I forgot my parentheses. So we did number 2. We did number 4. Now let's look at a little bit trickier one, number 6. Oh, no, number 6 isn't trickier. Number 6 is going to be just like number 4. we have negative 5x plus 7y equals 11 and negative 5x plus 3y equals 19. If I multiply either the top one or the bottom one, everything by a negative 1, we would get negative 1 times negative 5x would be a positive 5x. Negative 1 times 3y would be a negative 3y. And 19 times negative 1 is negative 19. Just going to rewrite the top equation so they're lined up. And now we have it set up for elimination, because if we add these two equations together now, we get negative 5x plus 5x. That's 0. 7y minus 3y is 4y. 11 minus 19 minus 8. And you can probably finish this. So finish this, solve for y, and then find x after you solve for y. So the next problem, number 10, we have to do 8, 10, 22, and 33 is left. 8, 10, 22, and 33. All right, 8's a little bit more work. Number 8 says we have negative 3x plus 4y equals 12, 2x plus 1y equals negative 8. It wouldn't do me, I don't have it set up. I don't have a negative 3x and a plus 3x, or a 4y and a minus 4y. And I can't just multiply one or the other by a negative 1 to make it work. So I'm going to have to multiply everything by some other number. I like that this one is a 4y and that this is a 1y. If I could just make this equation have a negative 4y, then I could go ahead and use elimination. So you have to think, what could I multiply the second equation by so that it would be a negative 4y? Well, that's just by a negative 4. So let's multiply negative 4 times everything on both sides. So I have negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times 1y is negative 4y. And negative 4 times negative 8 is a positive 32. I didn't do anything to the top equation. I'm just going to rewrite it. And then add the two equations together, because now it's set up for elimination, because we have plus 4y minus 4y. That's what you want in elimination, because now we have negative 3x plus negative 8x is negative 11x. 4y minus 4y is 0. 12 plus 32 is 44. Finish solving for x. X is negative 4. You still have to find what y is. So I like the looks of the second equation better. Easier, simpler equation. So x is negative 4. So where I see an x, I replace it with negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And then I would add 8 to both sides. So y is equal to negative 8 plus 8, which is 0. So my solution would be negative 4, 0. X is negative 4, y is 0. Number 10 is a word problem. It says that the Harlan each family in a neighborhood is contributing $20 worth of food. So we know it's going to be $20 total. The Harlan family is bringing 12 packages of buns. The hamburger packages cost $2 per package. The hot dogs buns cost $1.50. Let's call them dog buns and hamburger buns. We know they're bringing 12 altogether. We also know that the hot dog buns cost $1.50 for every hot dog bun, and that the hamburger buns cost $2, the burger buns, and that altogether they spent $20. These are the two equations that we want to use. It doesn't say that you have to use elimination to solve this. You could by multiplying the top equation by like negative 2, and then you could use elimination. I think that if I wasn't told which kind of method to use to solve this one, I think I would use substitution. And I would use substitution because I could easily solve the top equation for either D or B by just subtracting the other one. So I could solve for D by just subtracting B on both sides. And then I'd have dogs, hot dog buns, equals 12 minus the hamburger buns. Then you can take and replace D with what D is equal to, and then you'll be able to solve for B. So 1.5 times 12, then take 1.5 times B. So 1.5 times 12 is 9 minus 1.5b plus 2b Actually, I made a mistake here. 1.5 times 12 is 18. Fix that. So we have 18 minus 1.5b plus 2b. Combine your like terms here, so we have 18 plus 0.5b equals 20. Subtract both 18 from both sides, 0.5b equals 2, and then you'd have to divide by 0.5, and b equals 4. That means what? That means they bought 4 packages of hamburger buns. And you can probably in your head then figure out if they bought 12 packages altogether, how many of them must have been hot dog buns then? Must have been 8. And that is it for that problem. Okay, I don't remember which other ones we were supposed to do, probably the last ones. 22 and 33 is all that's left. 22, which is incorrect. Explain the error. You know, I find these easier to do if you just work the problem out sometimes, like in this case. So if we have x plus y equals -3 and 3x plus y equals 3, they're almost set up for substitution. I mean elimination, sorry. Let me rewrite those. If we would just have, instead of 1y and 1y, if one of them would be a negative, then we could have them all set up for elimination. So I'm going to multiply everything on the top by -1, which would give me -1x minus 1y equals -1 times -3 is a +3. And the second equation I'm not changing at all, just rewriting it. And now if I add these together, the -1y plus 1y right here is going to cancel. So I have -1x plus 3x is 2x. 3 plus 3 is 6. X equals, divide both sides by 2, x equals 3. This one gave us the right answer. This one must have a mistake. The error in this one is they multiplied through by a negative, but they forgot to multiply this one by a negative. So when they added, they got 0 instead of -6. So we know this one's right. B is right. And then the last question, we just have to pick the right equations to use. It says a math test has 25 problems. Some are worth 2 points and some are worth 3. Well, they're saying you've got some problems that are x-type and some that are y-type. Altogether, we have 25 of them. So that's one of the equations. So A has that kind. B doesn't have an equation like that. C doesn't have an equation like that. D doesn't have an equation like that. Let's just go through and see if the second equation for A works. Some are worth 2 points and some are worth 3 points. The test is worth 60 points total. This makes total sense here. 2 times the x type of problem plus 3 times the y type equals 60 points. A is the solution. Those are the, it doesn't we didn't work it out, but that's the system of equations that you would use to make it work. And that's the last one. Thank you very much.